Hi again, it's Chris from Motion Pro. We're back here in the Motion Pro workshop. We're going to do a little demonstration on the Motion Pro chain alignment tool, which is a long-time tool in our catalog. It's a very handy little piece to have in your toolbox, and so we wanted to go over the use of the tool so that everybody can get a really good idea of what it's all about. By the way, do you like my new shirt? Got a new shirt. So, chain alignment tool, it's a very small tool that clamps on the sprocket and allows you to align the sprocket to the chain through the adjustments on the swing arm for your motorcycle. The tool has an indicator rod that allows you to determine whether the sprocket is properly aligned with the chain, and makes this job really, really quick and easy. Let's get to it and I'll show you how it works. On this bike, this rear sprocket, there is a fixing bolt that will mount the chain alignment tool to the sprocket. Once you have the tool clamped on the sprocket, by looking at the back of the chain, you can tell whether the rear sprocket is parallel, or actually in this case perpendicular, to the chain. If the rod is pointing to one direction or the other, you know that you have to make adjustments in your swing arm axle adjustments to realign the sprocket to the chain, and therefore this also works for wheel alignment as well. So when we're looking at this one, we see that it's pointing towards the inside of the wheel, so I know that I need to either move this axle outwards, this side of the axle outwards, or this side of the axle inwards. So now that we know where the alignment is, we can now come over onto this side of the bike, and we're going to make an adjustment to the rear axle position bolts and push this side of the axle forward. Now that I've made the adjustment on that side, the wheel has now moved towards the left. I can see that I am in alignment now with the chain alignment tool. So I can take these guys now and tighten them back up again. Once you get the axle tightened all the way, you want to make sure that you have your alignment set up once again, and also that you have the proper amount of chain tension. Take a look at your service manual to determine what amount is the proper amount of chain slack on your particular motorcycle. It does vary. Here's a little trick also for when you are tightening up your axle in the final step of the process of lining your chain or changing a tire or whatever you happen to be doing with the back of your bike. It's pretty easy when there isn't tension on things to have the wheel not fully pressed up against the axle adjuster stops. If you don't do that, the wheel can be out of alignment, and all the work that we just did is really for nothing. So there's a little trick that is pretty cool. So if you take an old screwdriver, something round that's not hard metal, don't want to grab your best screwdriver, put it in between the sprocket and the chain, and roll the wheel forward so that now the screwdriver is putting some tension on the chain. You'll feel and hear the axles tighten up right against the adjuster stops. This is a really cool trick for using when just before tightening up your axle, and it'll make sure that your wheel is square. That's about it. It's pretty simple and straightforward to use, and thanks for watching.